Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
The year-end disapproval polls of Congress are rolling out. According to the latest Gallup poll, 82% disapprove of the way Congress is handling its job. Real Clear Politics Congressional job approval is at 75.8% disapproval. Mainstream media polls even have to accept the boiling anger running its course through America, as the CNN ORC poll racks up to 75% disapproval, and CBS New York Times is at 74%. The holiday season isn't even over yet, and fresh off of the heels of the treasonous Paul Ryan-led Omnibus funding of the Defense Department to the tune of at least $2 billion while ignoring an enemy invasion of the United States, meanwhile dropping a pile of cash on the sanctuary cities operations being flooded with non-vetted refugees, a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, all paid for by your tax dollars. Is it any surprise that the career corporate politicians that have occupied the nation's capital would start floating their latest bonehead idea from their arrogant bubble as if anybody in this country actually accepts it?
It seems to me that we'll have to borrow additional money from China in order to run this war. So let's have a war tax.
Now, more idiotic rhetoric from the left as Democratic Senator Chris Coons, who in addition to authorizing Obama's unconstitutional authorization for use of military force, minus the ground troops, says the Congress from hell should now levy a new tax on Americans to pay for military action against the Islamic State.
How are we going to pay for it? All the previous wars, as you referenced, before Iraq and Afghanistan, had a dedicated war surtax. And I think that's one way we could fairly pay for it, with a small surtax that exempted active duty military families and veterans. But there's other ways we could pay for it. We just can't keep going without even discussing it.
That's right. The little boys and their brand new shiny toys over at the Pentagon need more of your tax dollars to fund another one of their blatant fake wars with an enemy they created and support. Maybe we should send our war tax dollars to Putin, as he did more damage to ISIS in 3 days than the United States did in 1 year. Vocative reports the daily tab for fighting ISIS had already climbed more than 20% between May 21st and October 15th of this year, from 9.1 million a day to nearly 11 million per day. According to the Pentagon's latest public figures, more than half of these costs came in the form of airstrikes, which the U.S. has employed since August of 2014 to pound Islamic State targets. Munitions, logistics, and operational support accounted for the remaining costs, according to the Pentagon. Despite spending billions, the air campaign has failed to weaken the Islamic State, according to intelligence officials. A defense official told the Associated Press, "We've seen no meaningful degradation in their numbers." He cited intelligence estimates that put the Islamic State's total strength at somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000, virtually the same number as last August, when the airstrikes began. Face it, you sell out ideologue suits bumbling around the district of criminals. The poll numbers and an average of black-budgeted $1.6 trillion in annual never-ending war costs don't lie. The days of wagging the dog for the assumed idiotic taxpayers you've robbed year in, year out is coming to a screeching halt. John Bound for Infowars.com.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, Infowars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch the assault Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.